The Giga Press is a special machine that's making big changes in the car-making business. Tesla was the first company to use this machine for making car parts in a super efficient way. This helps them make more cars without spending too much money. It also lets them create really cool new car designs. Other companies are starting to catch on and use the Giga Press too. Now, the Giga Press is becoming more common, and Tesla needs to keep improving it to stay ahead. In 2024, it's a crucial time for the Giga Press. In a recent talk with Tesla engineers, Lars Moravi, who's in charge of making the cars at Tesla, shared some important details about how they use the Giga Press machines. He's been working with Tesla for more than 13 years. So, you're looking at one of the smartest people when it comes to making electric cars. Lars pointed out a secret about the Giga casting that even Tesla's competition hasn't realized yet. It's all about how things flow. Look at this big front part of the Cybertruck. Notice those long, sweeping metal ridges? They're like the pattern you see in a river delta, a natural design made by flowing water. This same pattern happens all over the world when water follows the easiest path. Now, back to our Cybertruck casting. It's what happens when liquid metal flows efficiently through a casting mold. Lars says that if you leave an engineer alone to design a car part, they'll likely make a lot of triangles and strong shapes that look good on paper. But in real life, those rigid shapes can create problems for the flowing metal. That's why Tesla thinks differently. They throw out the usual ideas about car design and start fresh, focusing on how things should flow the best way possible. We're solving a big problem here. Imagine trying to make a really big metal part really quickly with liquid metal. To do that well, we need to figure out the best way for the liquid metal to flow. The answer isn't in a fancy engineering book. It's in nature, specifically, the way rivers split into smaller streams called a river delta. This cool innovation is happening because Tesla makes its own molds for shaping things right in their own place. The people designing the metal parts and the molds work together in the same room. This teamwork ensures that the whole Giga cast system works really well. This new way of designing things is what finally made the Cybertruck possible. It also lets Tesla make even bigger and more complicated metal parts than other companies can even imagine doing. Our main goal here is to teach you something new about the technology changing our world. You don't have to be an expert to watch our Tesla videos. I'm not an expert myself. I'm learning new things along with you. I'm always looking for simple ways to learn more about how science and technology shape our world, and for me, the best way is by doing hands-on activities. That's why I'm a big fan of the sponsor mentioned today, Brilliant. Brilliant is a great way to learn math, data science, and computer science in a fun and interactive way. It's an online platform that's easy to use and much more engaging than traditional high school science textbooks. Brilliant has thousands of lessons in STEM fields, covering everything from basics to advanced topics. The best part is that you can learn at your own pace with customized content, and they keep adding new lessons every month. Recently, I've been diving into artificial intelligence and neural networks, topics I've always found challenging. But with Brilliant's visual animations, I'm starting to grasp the details one lesson at a time. The more you learn about STEM subjects, the closer you get to understanding how technology is shaping our world. I find that pretty cool, and that's why I encourage you to give Brilliant a try. You can explore everything Brilliant has to offer for free for a full 30 days by visiting brilliant.org/Tesla space or clicking the link in the description. Plus, the first 200 people will get 20 off Brilliant's annual premium subscription. Now, shifting gears, let's talk about Tesla's Giga Press machines. In simple terms, a Giga Press is a really big injection molding device. It takes hot liquid material like molten aluminum and uses a plunger to push it into a mold. This process creates a lot of internal pressure, requiring significant clamping force to keep the mold together. Over the past 3 years, Tesla has been upgrading the capabilities of their Giga Press machines. When making things with metal, like the Tesla Cybertruck, the liquid metal needs to travel through a mold and fill all the spaces before it cools down. This process happens really quickly, in just a fraction of a second. To keep everything in place, a strong clamping force is needed. When Tesla first started using a big machine to make parts for the Model Y, it had a lot of clamping force, 6,000 tons to be exact. This machine, called the Giga Press, was the biggest and strongest in the world at that time. With this machine, Tesla could make a whole rear-end frame for the Model Y. They got so good at it that they could even make the larger front frame section for the Model Y using the same machine. Then Tesla used the same machine to make the front end of the Cybertruck, which is even bigger. This shows that it's not just about having a powerful machine. You also need to be smart about how you design things. The goal is to work efficiently, not just harder. This is for the huge rear casting that supports the bed of the Cybertruck. Tesla eventually needed more power, so they upgraded to a Giga Press with 9,000 tons of clamping force. Even with clever ways of moving the metal, like fluid dynamics, covering such a big distance requires a lot of power. The Cybertruck has been a big learning experience for Tesla, teaching them more about how to use Giga casting effectively. We talked about a lesson on how liquids move, and that's just one example. It seems like there might be another improvement coming to the way Tesla makes car parts using the Giga Press version 2.0. Tesla is working on a completely new car, and it's supposed to be a big change. Even though it's groundbreaking, it's also going to be the cheapest car they've ever sold. So how does that work? Instead of designing a car first and then figuring out how to make it, they're designing a way to make a car that costs half as much as the Model 3 and can be made in half the time. One idea they're thinking about is using a process where the whole frame of the car is made in one big machine called the Giga Press. This machine would replace many other machines and robots currently used in making cars. Elon Musk calls it the machine that builds the machine. Tesla filed a patent in 2018 for this idea, and it's about a single machine that can make the entire frame of a car. It's like putting raw materials in, and a complete car frame comes out. Of course, it's not as simple as that, but it's the basic idea behind the Giga Press 2.0. In simple words, Tesla's way of making cars is a bit like how Apple makes their laptops. If you've ever held a MacBook Pro, you know it feels different from other laptops. That's because Apple makes the whole frame from one piece of aluminum, saving money and creating a high-quality product. Now, Tesla has a different approach called unboxed manufacturing. This means breaking the car into three main parts, front and rear castings, plus the structural battery pack. It seems like an efficient way to build cars. But there's confusion about which method Tesla will use. They presented the unboxed idea in 2023, but it wasn't well received. Elon Musk, Tesla's CEO, mentioned reviewing new ideas daily for the next-gen production process. Plans for where the car will be built are also changing. Tesla is a leader in car manufacturing, but other companies like Toyota are trying similar methods. In June 2023, Toyota showcased their version of Giga casting, inspired by Tesla, but they still have a lot to improve. So, while Tesla is ahead, competition is catching up. The Toyota parts in the Tesla Model Y seem smaller and not as strong as Tesla's own parts. They look thinner, smoother, and a bit flimsy. But I won't say anything bad about Toyota because they're known for making reliable cars. We'll have to wait and see how their first GigaCast vehicle turns out in 2026. Hyundai and Ford are also testing a big press machine, Giga Press, from the same company that supplies Tesla. The Italian company, Hydra Group, will deliver two of their large 9,000-ton Giga Press machines to Volvo for a new plant in Eastern Europe. Volkswagen is using a smaller 4,000-ton press for the underbody of their new Trinity EV platform coming in 2026. This shows that Tesla is still leading and changing the car industry. There's more exciting stuff to come.